was his favorite thing to eat on set?
Cake.
Cake?
Yeah.
For an athlete, cake.
I mean, we respect Usyk, of course we do, but he says he's injured. Do you believe him?
He looked injured, when he was dancing.
Well, this is it. Listen,
If
you're
he's
right,
injured-
Joseph, if you're watching on YouTube, this is an injured.
Well, yeah, he called me out to do MMA.
We're talking about heavyweight Usyk, who beat Tyson Fury.
Yeah, he wants to fight me in MMA, and our teams are talking, and I'm interested in it.
That'd be huge.
I think, to be honest, that scares me.
Over with his size difference?
No, the size won't matter.
Cruiserweight.
He'll be slower. So he's slower.
Yeah.
So the size will only work if he's up close leaning on him and ties him out.
I think that's probably what he'll try and do.
He's not a
when he
boxer,
gets
is he, Jake Paul?
No.
He's not a boxer, he's a clown.
Influencer.
He's a performing clown.
Yeah.
He's fucking useless. He can't fight. He literally cannot fight.
No.
He's absolutely fucking crap.
The Rock is known for his charisma, his unmatched energy, and his towering physique, but what he recently revealed left fans in shock. The Rock just revealed something shocking. He sparred with Oleksandr Usyk, and it didn't end well. The story came out during an interview while The Rock was promoting his latest project alongside actress Emily Blunt. They had just wrapped up filming for their much-anticipated movie, and during a fun conversation with Darren Bent from TalkSport, the Hollywood icon shared this jaw-dropping experience of stepping inside the ring with the Ukrainian powerhouse. It wasn't part of a fight, just some sparring, but even that light session gave Johnson a first-hand taste of Usyk's unmatched dominance.
Amazing.
Let me tell you something about Usyk. First of all, amazing guy.
Amazing guy.
Beautiful soul,
Yeah, awesome.
and open and beautiful stories he would love to tell us, and great.
Such a character. Vibrant, like
Vibrant.
such a big personality.
I get in the ring with him, and we didn't cut away. Benny didn't want to cut away. He came to me early and said, "Hey, I know you have great stunt doubles, but I'd like to only use you," which meant I'm gonna mix it up with these guys and get my ass kicked. And so the first time I lock up with Usyk, we're full on locking up, and we went through the whole fight scene, he and I knew then, when I told you this, when I locked up with him.
Fans around the world already know Usyk as one of the most technically gifted and mentally tough champions boxing has ever seen. But hearing someone like The Rock, an athlete with a heavyweight body himself, say that he was left battered from just a brief sparring exchange adds another layer to Usyk's intimidating aura. It proves that Usyk's skill, accuracy, and power are on a completely different level, and not even a superstar with a superhero-like build could escape without pain.
And I felt his embrace in this lockup. I knew this is a bad dude. And don't let it, because some dudes look like, oh, that guy's a killer.
Yeah.
His body is shit right. And some dudes like Usyk can be a little deceptive, right? Just how he looks.
Yeah.
But when he locks up, that deception becomes reality, because I'm like, oh, this is a bad dude. And he's just, you could feel it in his legs and in his base. And then we start sparring at the top of our fight. A couple of jabs out there. He is so fast.
Yeah.
And if one of these punches slips,
It's bad.
I'm going to the hospital.
What was his favorite thing to eat on set?
Cake.
While The Rock added humor to his story, saying the aches still hadn't left his body, the message behind his words couldn't be clearer. Oleksandr Usyk is no ordinary fighter, and that's exactly why he's at the center of multiple headlines, not just for his dominance inside the ring, but also for the controversies swirling around him outside of it.
I feel great, myself, family. I feel I have more to fight, to prepare, not more.
No more than two.
Just two.
One of the major talking points recently has been Usyk's supposed injury. The Ukrainian champion told boxing authorities that he was dealing with a back problem that required rest, which was why his ordered fight against Joseph Parker had to be put on hold. The WBO even granted his team a 90-day suspension, giving Usyk the time he claimed he needed to heal. But things quickly took a turn when footage surfaced of him dancing energetically at a concert in Ukraine. That single clip caused a storm in the boxing community. How could the heavyweight champion claim to be too injured to fight while at the same time moving with full energy on stage?
WBO about a month ago put out that Joe Parker, who's their interim champion, has to challenge against Usyk, and Usyk has to defend against him. He's put a letter into yesterday stating, so I found out today, stating that he's asked him for an extension period because he's injured before being ordered to do anything. But whatever happens, the fact of life is that Joe Parker will either fight as champion if Usyk vacates the title, or he will fight Usyk for the title. So it's exciting times if Moses were to win, or even if Dillian wins, whoever wins that fight.
The video raised eyebrows and immediately triggered backlash, with critics accusing Usyk of exaggerating or faking his condition. The WBO itself stepped in and issued a formal letter demanding detailed clarification from Usyk's camp about the reality of his health situation. The backlash was strong because Joseph Parker, his would-be opponent, had already been preparing for this ordered title shot, and fans felt misled about the delay. Dancing at a concert might not seem serious to an ordinary person, but for a champion under medical suspension, it looked suspicious enough to fuel conspiracy theories. Was Usyk truly injured, or was he buying time?
Are you disappointed in any way, Joseph, this morning that we're not here talking about you fighting Usyk?
No. I can just fight whoever's in front of me, and that's what I can control. Anything else, that fight will come down the line. If it does, great. If it doesn't, so be it. But whoever's in front of me, that's who I'm going to deal with.
I mean, we respect Usyk, of course we do, but he says he's injured. Do you believe him?
He looked injured, when he was dancing.
Well, this is it.
If he's
right,
injured,
Joseph, if you're watching on YouTube, this is an injured Oleksandr Usyk, and you're about to see him. There he is, prancing about. You're listening in Talk Sport. Usyk's going through every move in the dance floor you could ever imagine.
I mean, what's the injury? Back injury.
Who knows?
Who knows? He deserves time off, and to when he does come back.
In response, Usyk's team, led by Serhiy Lapin, quickly explained their side of the story. According to Lapin, people should not misunderstand what was happening. He reminded the boxing world of how much Usyk had already sacrificed in the last 2 years, especially in becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion twice. A feat that demanded incredible physical, mental, and emotional effort. He said, "The champion has earned the chance to let his body recover from the effects of a punishing training regime and from injuries that are often invisible to the outside world, and ultimately, simply to rest and spend time with his family. Most importantly, he has earned the right to choose his own future, and to take the time he needs to make that decision." Lapin also repeated a phrase that Usyk himself had famously used before his clash with Daniel Dubois: "Don't push the horses." It was a warning that people should not rush Usyk or force him into action before he feels fully prepared.
But then a social media video emerged in recent days showing him dancing and playing football. I mean, he's entitled to do that, but we're all led to believe that he's out injured at the moment.
Look, mandatories are put in place for a reason. That's why we didn't have an undisputed world heavyweight champion for 25 years, going back to Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis, before we had the big fight with Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk was the last undisputed champion. So mandatories are put there for a reason, and you have to obligate those mandatory positions. He hasn't done that because he said that obviously he's out with a shoulder injury, but the video that emerged, he was dancing like Simon at a party. He was doing all sorts of moves.
Still, the controversy hasn't disappeared, and with WBO's investigation ongoing, Usyk's reputation is in a delicate balance. On one hand, he is admired worldwide for his achievements, for outclassing giants, and for keeping his unbeaten record intact. On the other hand, the image of him laughing and dancing while under suspension continues to feed criticism.
Hopefully we can get down the line, but for now, it's Fabio Wardley. This is the one.
But it was thought you might wait for that time.
What's the point of waiting? I'm not getting any younger.
You need to fight, don't you?
I need to fight.
3 rounds
I need
in
to keep
18
busy.
months.
And I want to fight as often as I can.
But if there's one thing about Oleksandr Usyk, it's that he thrives under attention, whether it's admiration or controversy. That's why another surprising twist came when he responded to internet sensation turned boxer Jake Paul. Instead of calling Paul out to a traditional boxing match, Usyk stunned fans by challenging him to fight in an MMA cage.
That you were challenging Usyk to a street fight in MMA. Is that true?
Well, yeah, he called me out to do MMA.
And we're talking about heavyweight Usyk, who beat Tyson Fury.
Yeah, he wants to fight me in MMA, and our teams are talking, and I'm interested in it.
That'd be huge.
I think, to be honest, that scares me more than any of the other shit. That scares me more than fighting Anthony Joshua for sure.
But you know Usyk's a wrestler.
I think, yeah, he's like an Olympic wrestler.
Yeah, he knows how to wrestle.
Whoa, Olympic wrestler?
Fuck, bro.
Usyk's a dog. He knows how to wrestle. He knows how to fight. He knows how to kill.
Should I do it? Should I do it or
yes,
no?
sir.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge.
Yeah, that's what I said I wanted, right?
Yeah.
Hey, what about the challenge? You kept saying, like, if I ever saw Jake Paul in person, I'd fight him. Like, I'm not saying right now, I'm just saying, like, you always used to say that, remember?
The idea of Usyk stepping into mixed martial arts shook fans across combat sports. He's known for his boxing IQ, his footwork, and his conditioning. But taking on Jake Paul in MMA would be a wild crossover that nobody saw coming. For Paul, who has built his reputation on being unpredictable, this challenge seemed tailor-made. But until anything official happens, it remains a headline-grabbing tease that keeps both men in the spotlight.
Jake, you made such an impact in boxing. Is there still a plan to enter the cage in mixed martial arts in the future?
Yeah, I want to be like Holly here and test my skills in the cage, and that's something I'm super interested in, and I think it would be a very big spectacle. Nate Diaz is still ducking, but we need to find the right opponent. Usyk maybe.
Usyk in MMA.
Usyk has called out Jake multiple times in MMA. They've been in touch with us behind the scenes saying they want to do that fight in 2026. So it's something that we definitely want to pursue.
Is the PFL looking into it?
Absolutely.
At the same time, Jake Paul already has his hands full with his upcoming fight against Gervonta "Tank" Davis. This matchup has been described as one of the biggest Netflix boxing events of all time, set to take place in November. Fans are hyped, debates are raging, and analysts are weighing in on what could be a historic showdown.
He's not a boxer, he's a clown. He's a performing clown.
Yeah.
He's f***ing useless. He can't fight. Like, he literally cannot fight.
No.
He's absolutely f***ing crap. So when he's in there against Gervonta Davis, Davis can just play with him, like cat and mouse. Just hit him with a jab move, keep out of the way, just dominate him.
And probably just wear him out.
It depends, doesn't it? It depends if there's anything like agreed beforehand. It's an exhibition.
Yeah.
What's the rules of the exhibition? Do we get told the rules of the exhibition? So
Probably,
we don't know
probably afterwards, you know.
We don't know what's going to happen, but
Yeah.
for me it's a mismatch. It's not a fight I'm interested in. I won't watch it. I wouldn't watch it if it was in my back garden. As Ricky Hatton would say, I'd draw my curtains if it was in my back garden.
Among those analysts is none other than Teddy Atlas, one of boxing's most respected voices. In his breakdown of the fight, Atlas pointed out something that everyone noticed the moment Jake Paul stood across from Gervonta Davis: the size difference. Paul, who is naturally bigger, looked towering over the shorter but extremely explosive Davis.
We understand all of that, but the size, the pure, and we understand small guys can beat big guys. We just saw Crawford do it to Canelo, but you know, a little different. The size difference was, I mean, it was eye-catching, jaw-dropping.
Atlas, with his usual sharp wit, joked that Davis might need to bring a ladder just to land a clean punch, but behind the joke was a serious point. The physical differences between the two men were stark, almost jaw-dropping. Atlas noted that while Davis holds the clear advantage in skill, experience, and overall boxing pedigree, Paul's size cannot be ignored. If Paul manages to use that size correctly and lands something clean, the fight could turn unexpectedly dramatic.
But I would probably look for one thing that is not the common thing to have in a contract if I'm Tank. A ladder. A ladder. Can I get a ladder? Somebody? You know what I mean? Hey, look, if he hits him on the chin the way he can punch, Jake might be doing a dance.
That's what makes this matchup so intriguing. On paper, Davis has all the tools to expose Paul and put him away. But Paul's unorthodox style, combined with his strength and fearlessness, keeps fans guessing. Nobody knows exactly how the fight will play out, but the build-up has already captured worldwide attention.
Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. Almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully.
And all of this connects back to the larger picture of combat sports right now. You have Usyk, the undisputed champion who is being celebrated by Hollywood icons like The Rock, but at the same time facing investigations for injury claims. You have Jake Paul, who continues to stir the pot by calling out legends, teasing MMA fights, and stepping into the ring with one of boxing's pound-for-pound stars. You have the old guard represented by fighters like Parker and Davis, and the new age disruptors like Paul keeping the media cycle spinning non-stop.
Jake went for the jugular. Jake comes back and says, anybody that puts his hands on a woman is a scumbag, and that's you. Tank responds. In the world of responses, it was as bad as it gets. In defense of himself, he makes a comparison to P. Diddy. Jake literally just puts his head down. It's like, man. And I think that Jake was thinking in the moment the same thing what I was thinking, which is, how are you not prepared? And Tank was fumbling. And I want to say he referred to it by calling it corny. And corny is just not a word that fighters use at a press conference to build a fight. I don't know if I've used the word corny since my age got into the double digits. I was surprised that Tank was so unprepared.
For fans, it's an incredible time. They're not only watching fights, they're watching stories unfold. Stories filled with drama, controversy, humor, and unexpected challenges. Whether it's The Rock admitting he couldn't handle Usyk's punches, the WBO chasing down clarification letters, Usyk telling people not to push the horses, or Teddy Atlas laughing about Tank Davis needing a ladder, every piece adds to the theater of the sport.
But if they do it for real, Tank is highly capable of taking Jake Paul out. So the exhibitions that I like to see are ones that either I can mythically look at and say, wow, well, if he would have did that back when he was 10 years younger or 8 years or 12 years ago, he would have beat him. You understand me? Because we know boxing. We can see what the landscape looks like without even seeing it. You understand me? So an exhibition amongst two people that are that or were that, or one that is that and one that was that tells people that know the game, that tells us a lot. Exhibition between people who are way apart, it's not going to tell us nothing.
At the end of the day, Oleksandr Usyk remains at the center of this storm. His skill has humbled great opponents, his personality has won him fans, and his recent actions have sparked debate. And no matter what comes next, whether it's Joseph Parker, Jake Paul in an MMA cage, or another heavyweight challenger, one truth remains undeniable. When Usyk steps into any fight, the world stops to watch.
Usyk has said that he's interested in doing Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul.
Let's talk about fights that make sense. Jake Paul's doing whatever Jake Paul does. If Joshua's serious about wanting to stay in boxing, then fight good, real fights, if that's what you want to do. I mean, if you want to go down this other road and do this, then that's by all means do it, but it's a different journey and it's a different pathway. I think as fighters who've been in the game for a long time, I want real fights. If I was given the opportunity to fight Jake Paul, would I take it? No.
Not even for the money, no.
No, like I want to be champion of the world. That's my goal. And that's what I'm going to aim to achieve.
And if The Rock's painful but hilarious confession is anything to go by, everyone is reminded of just how dangerous this Ukrainian champion really is. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit the like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Ring Rivalry for more big fight stories and behind-the-scenes drama.